Classic in for Christy Paul.
I'm Victor Blackwell in Charleston, South Carolina. Good to have you with us this morning. I'm outside Mother Emanuel, as it's called, Emanuel AME Church, where just a few days ago, Wednesday evening, 9 people were shot and killed. And today, the doors of the church will reopen. There will be Sunday service here after church classes. And at 10 o'clock this morning, there will be a moment of solidarity across this city, across the country, as bells will ring at churches across the United States. Consider how incredible and really inspiring this is when just a few days ago, those 9 people were killed at this church, and members of their literal families, their church family, will go back into the church. Already this morning, people have been gathering here, bringing flowers, some singing, some just standing and crying. And I want to walk you through the day. After Sunday school, the church classes, there will be services, again, starting at 9:30. At 10, the bells will ring here in Charleston and across the country, a moment of solidarity. Then this evening at 7:45, as many as 3,000 people will form a bridge of peace across a literal bridge stretching from Charleston to Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. They will join hands in a unity chain across the Ravenel Bridge here in Charleston. Let's talk about the church services today. I've got Martin Savage here with me.
Good morning,
you
Victor.
will attend, good morning, the service this morning. Unimaginable to me that people will go back into this church, but some say they have to.
Right, and there's a mixture of emotions. It is also unimaginable because given the fact that 24 hours ago this was still a crime scene. Yesterday, Charleston police lifted that. That allowed for this service to go forward. There are a couple of things that make this difficult. Not just the fact that you had this horrendous slaughter that took place inside, but remember, the people who would normally organize, that would plan a service like this, many of them were killed.
Yeah.
So you have a leadership that is struggling to come to grips with how to lead this church. At the same time, we're trying to come together on this service. It is being called a healing service. It is being described that it will be normal, a word that sounds almost outlandish given what's happened, but the idea here is to not make this so much a memorial as it is a way for people to get back into the church, to get back into their faith. There'll be messages of hope. There'll be recognition that this is Father's Day. There are going to be other faiths and other church leaders that will be helping to take part. The question is, how many people will show? And the reason I say that is not that people don't feel support,
Yeah.
and not that they don't want to be there, but there are parishioners, there are family members who say that they just can't walk through the doors right now, that it is too soon, the memory's too large, and they will note the absences of people who are not there. That will be too painful, so we'll be paying very close attention. Security very tight.
We've talked this morning with Malcolm Graham, and you're going to hear from him in a moment, who says that he's not at the point of forgiveness yet, as we've heard from family members at that bond hearing. So the message will be especially important. Whatever the sermon will be, you said that this will be in many ways normal. Do we know more about that message?
Well, of course, forgiveness will be a part of that subject because it's one of the primary tenets, isn't it, of this faith, of most faiths. And I think also, too, I talked to the husband of Cynthia Hurd. He also is not at that point yet. He said his wife, who died, would forgive. He's not ready for that. So I think the messages there are going to be one for a parish and also for a community and also for a nation.
Yeah.
They realize that, this is, in many ways, everybody's church today. And that from California to Maine, people will be in the pews, or they will be praying, or they will be somehow involved in the service that happens. The capacity of this church, by the way, is about 400.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine far more people would probably want to attend than can.
All right, Martin Savage, thank you so much for speaking with us. We'll talk more throughout the morning after the ceremony to get some moments of reflection from you and what stood out to you as well. Let's now talk more about the victims of this tragedy. One person attending today's services, as I mentioned, Malcolm Graham. He is the brother of Cynthia Hurd, who was murdered on Wednesday night. Earlier, Graham told me that he feels no hate, but rather joy. Imagine, joy that his sister has now returned to the Lord. Listen.
I feel joy.
Joy?
I feel joy that she's with the Lord today. She is not a victim of this senseless crime. She got her victory on Wednesday night, and tonight she celebrates her birthday with the Lord. She's seeing family members, my mother and my father and our grandparents. She's at peace. And so I take solitude that when she lost her life last Wednesday, she lost it in the church.
State rep, right?
Carl Anderson, I served 2 hats.
Wow, imagine that joy. And today is, or would have been, Cynthia Hurd's 55th birthday. Let's talk about this community as it tries to heal. I'm joined now by Carl Anderson. He is a South Carolina State Representative, chairman of the South Carolina Legislative Black Caucus. Good to have you this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
It's good to talk to you, especially because there are some political movements or initiatives that are starting. I want to start with talking about the flag that so many people believe needs to come down from the state property in Columbia and across the state.
Yes.
Talk about the initiative to accomplish that.
Well, many years ago, we rallied for the flag to come down off of the dome. And the AME Church was one of the strong leaders in rallying for that, along with other political activists. It came down off of the dome, but they still placed it on the grounds. So we just hope that 7 months from now, when we go back into session in January of 2016, that everyone would remember in the legislature in the state of South Carolina that the flag needs to come off of our state property.
Yeah.
We have state museum that the flag could go in and sit in a case. So we just hope that everybody would come aboard, that it would be a bipartisan bill that we would remove the flag off of the state ground.
But this is not a new hope. I want to put up, guys, in the control room, put up that tweet from Mitt Romney. As we know, Mitt Romney, the 2012 Republican nominee for president, in which he wrote, do we have that tweet to put up on the screen? Here it is. Take down the Confederate flag at the South Carolina Capitol. To many, it is a symbol of racial hatred. Remove it now to honor Charleston victims. Also, Republican presidential candidate Jeb Bush mentioned that in Florida, they took it down and placed it in a museum. As you mentioned, this initiative, this is not new. So we need to say that. This is not a new initiative.
This is not new.
But do you believe that there is enough momentum now to accomplish that for people who believe that it should come down?
I believe there's enough momentum now, but I just hope that this momentum continues until we get back in session, where we can put this bill into effect, just like last month with the shooting of Walter Scott. We made a fast track and put that bill in for body camera. Became bipartisan. The bill was passed. It was signed by the governor. Senator Clementi Pinckney stood right there with me as chairman of the Black Caucus and many others to make sure that we told the audience that we would not stop until we saw that body camera bill pass. And that's what took place. And we need to do the same thing now. We need to work across the aisles. Yes, it's good for these candidates to come to South Carolina, but it's going to take South Carolinians. It's going to take those persons that serve in the Senate and in the House of Representatives in the state of South Carolina. We don't need outsiders to come and tell us just because they are running for something that we need to do this. We know what we need to do. We know that South Carolina needs to make sure that that flag goes to a museum and off of the state ground.
All right, Representative Carl Anderson, good to have you with us this morning. Many believe that the Confederate flag represents heritage and not hate, and that is a conversation that we have been having here on this show for some time. We had it yesterday, and we'll continue to have it. Let's talk more about what we're learning from this discovery online, this manifesto, the website of the man behind this attack. We're learning a few things. It's hard to look at this rationally because it is irrational, a bit of a rant. How do you defend someone now facing 9 counts of murder with writings like the one that